Well, it's all working. Question is all the audio working and everything? Now I can actually figure it out. I can watch myself. Since nobody else watches me, at least I do. But it's so much easier being able to watch it like this and hear it. See, now I know the audio is good. So this one may actually be kind of short tonight. Hi, Amy. I can actually see you tonight. I've never seen anybody in this room. It's the first time. Like I figured that out since you didn't chat. Like the only other time I saw it. See, I have to switch back. So if I'm in chat, if I'm able to see the chat, I can't see who's in the room. So I never know who, how many, whatever in this, which is fine. But it seems to be working good. So the one thing I can't do is I am not allowed to use music on TikTok, or I mean on YouTube. So this whole episode is written around a song. So when I actually edit this and turn it into an actual podcast, I guess I can put the music in at that point, but right now I just can't. So unfortunately, it's like, it's like I don't I don't know. I'm gonna try to do it anyway. I think that it should work anyway. Why does that look so crooked? That's driving me crazy. There we go. It should work anyway. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, at the end of the day, if I actually turn these into a podcast, then I guess it will matter more. All right. I actually wrote an intro because I always got to the point where I was like, okay, it's time to start. And I didn't really have an intro. So I actually wrote something and I'll build on this. This is like going to be my intro to every time I do this. I will use the same intro, which makes sense, right? Um, if I want to try to act like I'm doing this in a professional way, I guess I should at least have an intro. All right. Hmm. Welcome to Tailored Family, where let me start over. See, I can't even do my own damn intro. Oh, and I'm hearing voices in my head from that, and that isn't gonna work. All right, we're back again. I can't see myself either. That's another thing that's a little different to me is most of the time I spend so much time staring at myself, I can't see myself on this. So, I mean, I could put this phone up here. Last night I had my tablet up here to where I could see it just so that I could know that um, if you guys said anything or anything like that. But today I used that tablet and ran it dead. So it's on the charger. So I can kind of see it over here. Where's the chat though? I can't see the chat. Okay, can't see the chat. I just see myself. Well, whatever. I guess it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna try this again. Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Tailored Family, where real men talk about real life. This is from a father of six, a former alcoholic, or he's still an alcoholic, an angry man who spent years carrying pain he never talked about. But I worked hard to change, to grow, to become the man my kids may be proud of again. Even if it take falling flat on my face to get there, I was determined to get there. So this show is for the ones who are still fighting, the blue collar dads, the sober warriors, the men who feel alone but keep showing up anyway. We don't fake it here. We don't sugarcoat it. This is for the ones who carry more than they say and still get the job done. So from our family to yours, let's get into it. So we're breaking down the song "To Be a Man" from Dax, and I can't use the music. So I will be um, pointing to verses in the song, and we'll try to talk about it enough to make a point. Segment one: the silent struggle. So we're unveiling the weight men bear. Every day, countless men wake up and shoulder a weight that's often invisible. It's not just the physical demands or the work or the societal expectations to man up in the silent battles, mental health struggles, addiction, the pressure to suppress emotions. The access to be a man, the mega remix version, isn't just a song, it's a mirror reflecting the internal wars many men fight daily. Suicide, the unspoken epidemic. In 2022, an average of 108 men died by suicide each day in the United States, making men 3.9 times more likely to die by suicide than women. Addiction, the hidden escape. Men are significantly more prone to substance abuse disorders. They are 2.2 times more likely than women to abuse drugs and 1.9 times more likely to develop a drug dependency. Occupational hazards, the deadly toll. Men account for approximately 92% of all workplace fatalities in the United States, with a fatality rate about 10 times higher than that of women. When we think about men on a regular daily basis, we always look at him and we're like, oh, look at him. He's a rough jerk. Then you think about the blue collar people and the guys that work in this world. Men account for approximately 92% of all workplace fatalities in the United States, with a fatality rate about 10 times higher than that of women. Think about that. Road risks, the fatal journey. In 2022, a higher rate of male drivers were involved in car accidents resulting in injury or death than drivers. I wasn't able to get the exact statistics of that. I looked. I found this information on the Sparte Law Group. So that is what I believe to be a fact. However, I haven't fully confirmed that. Warfare, the ultimate sacrifice. Historically, men have been disproportionately affected by war related deaths. For instance, during World War II, men constituted 99% of US military fatalities. Now we know that's because the rule has always been that men fight the wars, men are on the front lines. But again, 92% of workplace fatalities, 99% of US military fatalities. Our lives are shorter. We might not be as smart as you guys, and we may not make as much sense as women most of the time, but maybe we're living in a way that our lives are shorter, so we're going to do things a little silly to get there. Connecting back to the song, Dax's lyrics resonate deeply. I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. These words encapsulate Dax's lyrics resonate deeply. I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. These words encapsulate the silent suffering many men endured, burdened by expectations, and deprived of outlets to express vulnerability. The statistics are harrowing, but they only scratch the surface. Behind each number is a story, a family, a life altered or lost. As we continue to dissect To Be Man by Dax, we'll uncover more layers of complex narrative, shedding light on multifaceted challenges men face and exploring pathways to healing and understanding. Liquid lies, the cost of culture that cheers while we break. Let's talk about one drug that doesn't come in a baggie or a prescription bottle. It's sold in every grocery store. It's poured at every birthday, every funeral, every celebration. And if you don't use it, people want a damn explanation. Alcohol. It's the only drug where you have to defend your sobriety like it's a sin. When I told people I quit drinking, I got that look, the laugh, that shrug. Why? You just don't drink. You drink when you're having fun. That's all you need to do. It's easy. No, it's not actually. People don't understand what this stuff really does to you. They don't see the chemical grip alcohol gets on your brain, how it rewires your thoughts, your emotions, your sleep, your soul. It makes you someone else. And when you finally quit, it's like taking a long break and waking up from a very long, dark dream and seeing how much of your life you gave away to the damn bottle. And as you start to see clarity, you see things that you missed for years. Just because you're not drunk during the day, or we can use my personal case, I didn't drink until 7:30 at night. That was a rule. That gave me time to go to work, come home, do a couple things, say hi to my family, eat dinner, and then get drunk and pass out. That was my life. I was sober every day when I woke up and I went to work. And then I came home and we started the routine over again. So I probably only drank 2 hours out of the day, maybe three. So 22 to 21 to 22 hours a day, I was not drinking and should have been clear of mind. When you quit drinking, all of a sudden you see the clarity that you did not have. And you realize you never really were sober. You're just always kind of drunk. I was taught to be strong, never show emotion, but inside I'm drowning in the ocean. That's Fix's verse. And at this point, I would play a 30-second version of this, but I can't on YouTube. Fix delivers into the internal struggles and the facade men often maintain. I used to drink just to feel alive. Now I'm dying inside from the damage I hide. I used to drink just to feel alive. Now I'm dying inside from the damage I hide. Most people that drink don't generally become an alcoholic just because it's fun. They're generally trying to get past something. There's something they don't want to have to face. There's something going on in their life that they don't want to have to talk about. And they don't want to have to talk about it, but every night before they go to bed, all of it starts going through their brain. All of it starts replaying. So you drink and it makes the replay stop. Doesn't necessarily mean you sleep better, but it makes the replay stop. I get it. That line is not a metaphor. It's not wordplay. That's a cry, a confession. A man saying I'm drowning, and y'all keep handing me more water. Maybe you feel that too. Like you've been silently fading into the world that calls destruction, just having a good time. One in three suicides involve alcohol. One in three suicides involve alcohol. That means 33% of the people might not have done it had they not been in that cloud, in that fog, in what alcohol causes. 30% of fatal car accidents involve alcohol. One third of the car accidents where people died involve alcohol. I know I'm using a little bit there. It's 30%, not 33. Close enough. One third of the people that die in car accidents were under the influence of alcohol. 50% of domestic violence and divorce comes down to one word: alcohol. 50%. Notice that 50%, it's not money, it's not societal stress, it's not your job, it's not because your husband's a jerk, it's not because he didn't pick up his socks. 50% of domestic violence and divorces are based on alcohol. 3 million deaths globally every year tied to alcohol-related illness or injury. And behind almost every one of those numbers is a man. Numbing pain no one ever asked about. And when he went to them and he said, "I need to talk," they didn't have time. When he said, "I don't feel well," they didn't believe him. When he said, "I'm having these thoughts," they said, "Call somebody and ask for help." So he drank because he could shut it all off. All the voices, all the stuff, all it would stop. All the memories of asking people to help him and not receiving the help, he could make it stop by drinking more. We post mental health matters while handing someone a shot of the thing that actually fuels depression. We say, "Be strong, man." Then toss them a beer and say, "You'll be all right." We shame heroin addicts, but laugh when a man blacks out every weekend drunk. We've turned poison into a punchline. And men are dying by the thousands because we call that thing killing them normal and exciting. If you're out there and you're listening and you've been numbing the pain with the bottle, I want you to hear me right now. You're not broken. You're not weak, but you're waking up. If you took the time to listen this far, I promise you you're waking up because you wouldn't have sat here this long unless it resonated with you. And if you decide today is a day that you stop drinking, that makes you one of the strongest men I've ever known because I know how damn hard it is. And I'm impressed by every one of you that make that. So fix and the fight for self-worth comes in this next verse. When he steps in on to be a man, he doesn't spit bars, he bleeds honestly. His verse isn't about flexing, it's about falling, about fighting demons behind a smile. I used to drink just to feel alive. That's not a throwaway line, guys. That's the sound of a man trying to find value in his own reflection. Let's be real. Self-acceptance, most men, we don't have it. Not unless we're doing something for someone else. We're always happy if we help somebody else. If I can give somebody else my time given to them, I feel good about it. If I do a repair at somebody's house, I feel good about it. People on here can say, "Your poetry's good." I don't even like it. I like doing it. We feel worthy when we're making her laugh, When our kids hug us tight, when the house is paid, the truck is running, and the bills are caught up. That's when we say, "I'm doing all right." But the moment we still and look inside, that's when the shame starts to creep in. The voices, the regrets, the guilt. I failed at 2 marriages. I carry that with me and I own it. I don't put the blame on anybody else. I failed at 2 marriages. But I also helped raise 6 amazing children, 3 of my blood and 3 of my love. And every one of them, they're their own person, strong, independent, capable. I didn't come from luck. I came from being present, from doing my best even when I was hurting. That's kind of love most people never understand. Being a father in spite of your pain, choosing to show up when it would have been easier to disappear. I pray to God, but I don't hear a sound. How many men out there feel that? Like they're praying into a void. Like they're trying so damn hard to be good, but they still feel broken inside. God created man to serve, not to dominate, not to flex, but to provide, to protect, to lift up his women, not stand on her, and to be a rock for his children. We're the storm shelter, the firewall, the steady hand, and we have our hand on the wheel when the world's falling apart. Sex reminds us that the war isn't just outside, it's inside and how we see ourselves. And maybe the reason we struggle to love who we are is because nobody ever taught us how. Cry behind a melody when the silence becomes a suicide note. When Atlas comes into the in on this remix, he doesn't rap, he aches. His voice is the sound of a man begging to be seen, not for his paycheck, not for his calloused hands, but for his soul. The part of him that's breaking when he holds everything together for everyone else. In reality, men are taught to be silent. If you're a man and you're sad, hide it. If you're angry, hide it. If you're crying, hide it. You're dying inside, hide it. Suck it up. Rub some dirt on it. Don't be a bitch. From the time boys were taught that emotions are weaknesses, and weaknesses will get you stepped on, we shut down. We lock it in. And when the pressure builds too high, we don't explode, we freaking implode. We drive down country roads at 100 miles an hour, not because we're reckless, because it's the only place we can scream and no one will freaking hear us. We scream and still come home, park the truck, walk through the front door like nothing's wrong. Who's this man cry to? After his mom dies, who's left? We don't know how to learn. We only know how to be leaned on. I'm sorry, we don't know how to lean. We don't know how to, we only know how to be leaned on. So we carry it all for our woman, our kids, our coworkers, our crew. But inside we're crushed under the weight of being everything to everyone and nothing to ourselves. Until it's just too fucking late. Until the only time we feel peace is the second before we pull a trigger. And even then, we still think, I better not burden anyone with this. We don't even ask why we're doing it. We only ask, what's this going to do to the people I leave behind? If I shoot myself, who's going to clean up the mess? If I hang myself, who's going to cut me down? If I die today, will they blame themselves? I'm only alive because I'm too scared of the pain I'll cause, not the pain I'm in. Sound of a cry no one hears. In Atlas's chorus, to be a man is to suffer in silence. To be a man is to carry the weight. A powerful chorus that encapsulates the theme of silent endurance. That's why Atlas sounds like that. He's singing for the men who can't, for the ones who cried in garages with the door closed, who turned the music up so damn loud that it drowns out their sobs, but it can't drown out the thoughts. For the ones who thought, I'm not okay, but I can't say it out loud. And for the ones that didn't make it to tomorrow. Why do we die in silence? Because if you show pain, you're soft. If you cry, you're weak. If you break down, you're broken. So we wait until the moment comes when peace feels more possible through death than through healing. Here's the truth. No one told us growing this up. No one told us while we were growing up. Crying doesn't make you weak. It makes you a human. And there's nothing braver than a man who says, I'm hurting, I need help, and I can't do this alone anymore. It's not cowardice, it's warriorship. That's the first damn step towards your freedom. You heard it your whole life, haven't you? Be a man. But no one ever told you what they really meant. And the ones who tried, they were still bleeding from their own unhealed wounds. God needed soldiers, so he made man. We fight the wars on the battlefield, on the job site, in our homes, and in our own minds. But here's the thing, we show up every day. We give everything we got. And now we're asking, when do we heal? The blueprint they gave us was broken. They taught us strength, but never taught us how to feel. They taught us discipline, but never taught us how to rest. They taught us how to fight, but not what to do with the pain that keeps coming after the fight ends. Because here's the truth, brothers. After every battle, whether it's on the job site, in the courtroom, in the kitchen, from deployment, or that damn divorce, the body gets tired, the bones ache, and the hands blister. But the mind, it don't shut off. The body collapses, but the brain keeps swinging. Regret, shame, failure, loneliness. The war never stops. It just moves inward. And they never taught us what to do with that. They never taught us how to care for ourselves after we cared for everyone else. They never taught us how to say, I'm proud of me. I'm enough. I deserve peace too. No, they taught us how to love others, but not how to love ourselves. They didn't teach us how to see love for us either because we didn't need it. We're the man. I don't need a hug. I'm okay. That's exactly why this remix hit me so damn hard when I first heard it, and even the first version of this song. 'Cause right there towards the end, you hear his name's Mediary and the great white brother Rick, and it's at their verse, "I've been through hell, but I keep on walking. My scars are stories, but my pain is talking." Brother Rick shares his journey, emphasizing resilience through adversity. They stop repeating the damage and they start rewriting the story. They're telling the next generation, we don't have to live like this anymore. They're not just talking about pain, they're talking about healing. They're laying down the swords and picking up the truth. I've made mistakes. I've felt shame in so many ways. I failed at 2 marriages. I did break some cycles. My father died an alcoholic. I will die a sober man. I stayed when I could have ran. I helped raise 3 children that were not my blood, and I didn't run. I stayed right here. I was right here the whole time. I showed up when I had nothing left in the tank. I didn't get a guidebook on how to be a father or a husband, but I'm working on learning how to stop bleeding on the people I love.